What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and enjoying life today. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2024 Volkswagen Tiguan SE. Huge thank you to David Roach over at Safford Volkswagen of Fredericksburg, Virginia for allowing me to do this video for you guys today. If you are interested in this particular Tiguan or any Volkswagen product, then I'll be sure to have David's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. It was a beautiful sunny day not too long ago, but it seems like within the past hour and a half, the clouds and wind have rolled in, so not quite sure what happened. I put my sweatshirt back on, but just like usual, first I'm going to talk about the exterior and the performance. So like I said, this is a 2024 Volkswagen Tiguan SE, and this particular one has been painted in platinum gray metallic. As standard with the SE, you get LED headlights with automatic high beams as well as LED daytime running lights and standard turn signals. Taking a step to the left, this is what the front end of the SE looks like. So you do get a mix of chrome and gloss black for your grille. So you can see the grille bars are chrome, but then behind the grille bars you get some gloss black. Then you have your Volkswagen logo located at the center of the grille. Coming down just a little bit, you get a satin black lower fascia with body color trim accents on the outsides of your bumper. So you get that C-shaped body color trim piece there. Obviously, you get the same thing on this side. You also get 4 forward-facing sensors here on the front end and 7.6 inches of ground clearance. But coming on down the side, you get a side marker light here, and again you get that satin black front fascia, and that satin black fascia leads into your satin black wheel arch moldings. Now let's take a look at these wheels. So these are the standard wheels with the SE, and they are 18-inch dark graphite painted wheels wrapped in 235/55 Bridgestone Ecopia HL 422 plus all season tires. I'll give you a view of the tread pattern on these tires here real quick. That is what the tread pattern looks like. And then taking a step back, also as standard, you do get rain sensing wipers. You also get a mix of gloss black and chrome for your fender trim that leads into kind of like some door trim here. So the surround is gloss black, and then the primary piece is chrome. And then also as standard, you get body color mirror caps with integrated turn signals, and these mirrors are also heated, manual folding, and you will find your blind spot monitoring on the inside of your mirror right there, on that side as well, about right there. Now taking a step back, let's do a little side profile shot of the Tiguan. That's what it looks like here on the side. You do get silver roof rails up top. You get satin chrome window trim. You get body color door handles with keyless access. Just keep in mind though, the keyless access function is only on your front 2 door handles. The rear 2 door handles do not get the keyless access function. And then coming down just a little bit more, you get satin black door cladding that again go from your satin black front fascia, satin black wheel arch moldings, satin black door cladding. And again, you get the wheel arch moldings around back. Now here is a rear 3/4 shot of this thing. Up top here, you get your gloss black shark fin antenna. You also get your body color roof spoiler. Integrated into your body color roof spoiler is your third brake light located there. Obviously, you get a rear window defroster. You have your rear wiper back here. You do get LED taillights as standard with the SE. And then here is a little booty shot. You get chrome badging here on the back end with the SE badging, the Tiguan badging, and then the 4Motion badging. That 4Motion badge right there is going to cost you $1,500. And then coming underneath your Volkswagen logo, offset to the right just a little bit, is where you will find your backup camera. And then just to the left of the backup camera, if you have your key fob in your pocket or if the vehicle is unlocked and you press on that pad, the liftgate will open up. Power liftgate does come standard as well. Now, ignore some of the stuff that we have back here because this vehicle just hit the lot. So a couple options that we got going on back here. So this vehicle's been optioned with the $296 Monster Mats, trunk liner, and cargo blocks. So this is the trunk liner. On one side, it is carpeted. If you flip it over, it is reversible. You have some rubber type of material. Then these are the Monster Mats. They're basically all-weather floor mats that say Tiguan on them. see that there. And then these are the cargo blocks, basically like a cargo management system here. And then up top here, you can see this privacy cover. That is $230. So this is a $230 option. If you are in a sketchy area at an airport or something like that, you can pull this out like this, so when you close the trunk, thieves cannot see the contents of which that you have in your trunk, again, when the trunk is closed. So that is a kind of a nice like security feature almost in a way. And then also on this side, if you pull this, that is going to drop your second row seats this side. Then you have one on this side, and then basically you get full flat storage space. So if those seats were pushed forward just a little bit more, you get an additional about 4.5 feet of storage space with those second row seats down. And to give you an idea, from here to there is the normal trunk. So this is a very good sized trunk considering the size of this vehicle. And they're also, I'm not sure if it's on this trim level, but you do, or you can opt for a third row seat if that is what you wanted to do. So hence why you have, you know, quite a bit of storage space here in the trunk area. Then you also get a 12-volt power outlet on the driver's side of the trunk. Here, give you a view. This is the trunk. This is the 12-volt power outlet. You also get an LED light on the driver's side of the trunk. Storage cubby on the driver's side, storage cubby on the front passenger side. You get a grocery bag hook on the passenger side of the trunk. And then if you lift up all of this stuff, that will reveal your spare tire, your jack, and all the stuff necessary to change a flat tire, if God forbid you do end up getting a flat. But you also get a light right there, and if you press this button, the power lift gate will begin to close. You can see how fast or slow, depending on how you look at it, the lift gate closes. And then finishing things off here at the rear end, you get this chrome trim piece that wraps around the bumper, and then you also do get a satin black rear bumper. And let's say you have a jet ski, you have an ATV, the max tow capacity of the Tiguan, doesn't matter which trim level you get, the max tow capacity is 1,500 pounds. So you can tow a jet ski with that. Also, you can see what I was talking about, that chrome trim wraps around the bumper. And last but not least, this is your fuel door. 87 octane will do you just fine, but you do not get a capless filler neck. And that kind of about does it for the exterior of the Tiguan. I really like the lines on this thing. It's got sharp lines. It kind of looks like an Audi, but it can't look like an Audi because it's a Volkswagen. But it's just a very premium looking SUV. It drives great. I've read that people feel like it's kind of slow. I don't feel like it's kind of slow. I feel like it's got the great or a good amount of power considering it is a daily driver. But I guess with that stuff said, let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals that 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder that makes 184 horsepower and 221 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission for a 0 to 60 time in 9 seconds. And if you were wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 22 miles per gallon in the city, 29 miles per gallon on the highway for 25 miles per gallon combined with all-wheel drive. The Tiguan SE does come standard with front-wheel drive, so if you do want 4Motion, also known as all-wheel drive, that is going to cost you an additional $1,500. But if you're enjoying the video so far today, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot reach my goal without your support. So if you're enjoying the video, if you've learned anything thus far, please just take a second to like, comment, and subscribe. The likes and comments in particular look very good for my channel in the YouTube algorithm. But with that stuff out of the way, let's move into the interior. Moving on into the interior, as mentioned earlier in the video, you do get keyless access. So all you have to do is have your key fob in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle, press this button right here, and it will unlock. You can press that very same button again and it will lock right back up. Now, this is what the key fob looks like. It's satin black, and then on this side you have your different functions like your lock function, your power liftgate function, your remote start function, your unlock function, and your panic function. You do get remote start as standard, so all you have to do to remote start it is lock it, press this button twice, and she will fire up. But now let's take a look at what the interior of the SE has to offer. So this is what the interior looks like. So this is the Titan black leatherette interior. This is what it looks like. We'll get into that here in a second, but this is what the driver's side door panel looks like. So at the top, you get some vinyl wrapping, you get some gray trim, you have your unlock and your lock functions, a speaker, your side view mirror controls here. If you wanted to turn your heated mirrors on, all you got to do is push back like that. Now the heated mirrors are on. push one more time, they turn back off. Automatic up and down windows at all 4 corners. This button is going to restrict your passenger window privileges. You get a nicely padded armrest with some accent colored stitching, a little bit of storage space here, a spot you could set a water bottle, and then if you pull up on this, that is going to open up your power liftgate. You do get a power adjustable front driver's seat, but you get a manually adjustable front passenger seat. By the way, heated front seats do come standard with this trim level. But stepping on into the interior, let's see what this thing has to offer. So let's close the door here. That is what it sounds like when you close the door. And I'm gonna turn this thing off. And now you're gonna hear what it sounds like when it fires up from the interior's perspective. So that is what it sounds like when it fires up. Now I'm just gonna walk you throughout the entire interior. So coming over to here, this is your headlight control knob. So if you twist it all the way to the left, that is headlights off, that is headlights automatic, that is parking lights on, and all the way to the right is headlights in the always on position. I like to leave it in automatic personally. Now, if you open this thing up, you could set your key fob down in there. You could set some Purell hand sanitizer for size reference down in there. Something similar to your key fob, maybe 8 key fobs could fit down in there. The key fobs are rather small, just for size reference. Now, coming over to here, if you flip this down, that gives you access into your manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. So basically you can push the steering wheel away from you, you can bring it towards you, and it also moves up and down. And once you find your comfortable position, all you have to do is lock it by pulling back up, locking it into position, and now it's not gonna move. You wanna take a listen to the turn signal? Well, here you go. That is what the turn signal sounds like. Not only is this your turn signal control stock, this is obviously also your high beam control stock. And then if you press the button on the end of the stock right here, that is going to pop up your assist system. So you can click down and you can go in between your different assist systems with these buttons here. So if you go all the way up, it is going to give you the option to turn lane assist on. You can turn adaptive cruise control on. You can turn your regular cruise control on. Then you get your side assist, which is your blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert, front assist, and you can close that. So if you wanted to pop up like instantly into your driver assistance features, you have the button onto the end of the stock right here in order to do that. So anyways, zooming back out, you do get a leatherette wrapped steering wheel with some white accent colored stitching on the inside of the steering wheel. And just like any other vehicle, you have your horn at the center. So let's take a listen to the horn. That is what the horn sounds like on the Tiguan. So on the left-hand side of the steering wheel, as standard with this vehicle, you do get adaptive cruise control with stop and go. You also get travel assist, which is a semi-autonomous driving system. So on the left-hand side, these are like your cruise control settings. Then you have your volume controls. This is volume down. This is volume up. You come to this side of the steering wheel. This is to go backwards on a track. This is to go forwards on a track. And then coming up to here, this is to speak to the vehicle, and all of these other buttons here are to control your 8-inch digital gauge cluster. Before we get into the digital gauge cluster, this is your windshield wiper control stock. Again, you do get rain sensing wipers as standard, which is definitely nice to see. So over here, you have your coolant temperature gauge, and then down here, you have your fuel gauge. Now, this is what the screen is on. You have 3 different views or display layouts, as I would rather call it. They call it views. I call it display layouts. This is one of your display layouts. So up top here, you have your time, driver assistance stuff, the compass, and the ambient exterior temperature. Then right now, this is your average fuel economy since the start. And then you have how long we've been in the vehicle for, how many miles we've been, the digital speedometer readout, transmission status stuff there. That is the odometer. That is the fuel range, excuse me, and then that is right there, like some, I think that is, I don't know, it's got a, I don't know what that is. I think that's driver assistance stuff though. But again, you have a few different display layouts here. So if you press view, so this is one of your display layouts. This is your second display layout. It's your speedometer and digital speedometer readout. Click that one more time. Now it is your tachometer and your digital speedometer readout, and then you brings you back into this screen. So personally, if this was my vehicle, this is the screen that I would use, but I want to walk you through this screen here because you see you have this button and this button, as well as these 2 buttons and the OK button. So the only display layout you can do what I'm about to show you is this display layout that I'm showing you right now. So if I click to the left, you can adjust what you see over there. So you can go into your settings. It can either display nothing, you can bring you into like your fuel economy stuff. If you keep going throughout there, you can bring up your gear display, you can bring up your oil temperature, your auto stop start stuff. Basically any of these things that you see over here can be displayed on this side of the screen. So I'm gonna leave it on gear display. And then if I click to this side, all I gotta do is click this button right here, and it's gonna bring me into this. So I can display, or I can go into my settings, and you can go in between those different things there. And basically you can, if you go into the settings, you can choose what you wanna choose from here. So it can either be no display, it can be driving data. So that's what the driving data screen looks like. If you go back into this side of the screen, it can be distance, time, average speed, navigation stuff. Back into this side, audio stuff, telephone stuff, destination info. It could be your compass. I think, let's see what no display looks like. So that's what no display looks like. All you gotta do is click back on this button and it brings you back into this screen. I kinda like no display, but I'm going to maybe leave it on distance and time. So again, I would go into this screen if this was my vehicle. I just like the way that that looks better. It looks more normal to me. And then up top here, you get some storage space. I have an iPhone 14 Pro Max, so for size reference, this is how much storage space you have up top here. And then coming down just a little bit more, you get 2 HVAC vents. It lets you know who is buckled, or excuse me, if the passenger airbag is on or off. Then you have your hazard button there. You can see the hazard button flashes with the hazards. And then working my way into the infotainment screen, let's peel this thing back so we have full access into all of this and we can see exactly what we're working with here. So this is your 8-inch infotainment system with wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto connectivity. And then you also have these buttons on the outsides of the screen. So then this is like your shortcut into your radio stuff, shortcut into your media stuff, volume control knob. Then you have your phone shortcut, voice shortcut, app shortcut, sound shortcut, tuning control knob, car, and if you go into car, you also have your menu, which is your home button. This is what you can see here on your car. You can see this long-term stuff. You can go into selection here. You can see driving data, or you can go into your vehicle status stuff. So you can click over tire pressure stuff, and I guess that's it. You can go into your settings. You can go in between all of these different settings here for the vehicle. You could take a look at all that stuff, but I'm not going to go through all of them because that would take way too long. But again, the menu button is the home button for the infotainment screen. One thing that's interesting is that this vehicle does not have navigation, even though it has the navigation app right there. So when you click on it, it says this vehicle has not been equipped with navigation. So I think it's kind of lazy that Volkswagen does that, because if the vehicle doesn't have navigation, don't give me a navigation app. I feel like that's cutting corners a little bit, kind of. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Actually, I do know how I feel about it. It should not be there. But then just to the right of that app, I wanted to show you, this is your driver assistance app. So they basically give you a visualization to make it, you know, a little bit more understandable to those who aren't maybe the most, or aren't the best with technology. So if you click on the car in front of you, which is a GTI, you can turn the lane distance selected for your adaptive cruise. So it's basically how close you're going to be to the car in front of you with the adaptive cruise control system when cruising down the highway. So right now the distance is set to medium. You can have it be set to close, very close, far, or very far. Right now it is on medium. And then if you click right here, this is for your front assist. So right now, let's say you're coming up on a vehicle too fast because you're playing on your phone and not paying attention to driving like you should be. Basically, it's set to the medium setting. So basically, late would be like last second, the vehicle is gonna give you a warning, hey dude, you gotta stop, or it's gonna stop for you. And then you also have it like early. So it would be way too maybe sensitive in the early mode. So I would leave it on medium. But yeah, that is for your forward collision warning. And then if you click this, this is for your blind spot monitoring system. And then you can go into the brightness of the blind spot monitoring system. So you can see it's dimming right now, and now it's brightening. So I think that's pretty cool. I'm gonna set it to about medium right there. So anyways, that is it for that kind of stuff. We go back and do our home screen by clicking on the menu button. And then coming down just a little bit more, this is your climate control stack. You do get dual zone automatic climate control as standard. So if you wanted to control the temperature, all you got to do is do something like this. The temperature is going up. Do something like this, scroll down, temperature goes down. Same thing on this side, scroll up, scroll down. And if you wanted to sync them, you press this sync button right here, and they are both synced to the driver temperature. And like I was mentioning, you do get heated front seats as standard. You get 3 levels of adjustability with your heated front seats. And then you can see these 3 arrows. You're like, what does that mean? So if you click on it, it's basically displaying, you know, where the air is blowing. So right now it is the defroster. It is the defroster and your feet, then it's your feet, it's the defroster, you and your feet, and then it's you and your feet, and then it's just you. So that is what this button does right here, and it gives you a nice little display on the screen. And then if you want to turn the climate control system off, you press the off button there. And then let's say you wanted to turn it instantly all the way up. All you got to do is click like right here. Yeah, okay, of course, the one time I do it, it doesn't do it. But basically, I was just in a Jetta. But you can just swipe it up really fast, and now it's fan all the way up. So of course, the one time that I do it in this vehicle, it doesn't work, but in the Jetta I just did a video with it. Did do what I said it was going to do. But down here you get a 12-volt power outlet, you get 2 USB-C ports, and you also get a wireless charging pad as standard. So again, iPhone 14 Pro Max, it fits down in the wireless charging pad, no problem. And then it also lets you know on screen that the phone is charging. It said phone is charging in the storage compartment. Then right here you have your push button start button. This is your auto stop start system on or off. Pull up, that is going to engage your electronic parking brake. If you wanted to disengage the electronic parking brake, you have to push your foot against the brake, push against that, and the parking brake will disengage. And then one thing that's interesting is that you have, this is like your off-road mode dial. So if you twist to the left, it's going to put you into your snow mode. If you twist one to the right, it's going to put you into your normal mode. If you twist one more to the right, you got your driving mode off-road auto. And then if you twist all the way to the right, this is your driving mode off-road mode custom. And if you click on adjust, you can adjust exactly how you want your off-road mode to be. However, you may be asking, well, why doesn't this thing have sport mode? Well, it does have sport mode, but it doesn't have to do with this dial. You press this button right here, and it's going to bring you into your different modes like eco, normal, sport, and custom. If you go into custom, you can adjust custom as well, and you can adjust your steering feel. You can adjust the drivetrain. You can adjust this right here. I guess adaptive ACC would be adaptive cruise control. So anyways, that is your custom mode. 2 cup holders, a spot you could set a key fob or maybe like something, hand sanitizer. Then you get a nicely padded armrest, some accent colored stitching. And if you lift up on this, you get no connectivity down in there, but I would say you probably get about 11 inches of depth down in there. Over here you get some of that gray trim, same stuff on this side minus all the driver controls. Looks very similar, but you do get a manually adjustable front passenger seat. You do not get a lockable glove box, but your glove box is pretty deep and also a good sized considering. Up top here, this vehicle's been optioned with the $405 auto dimming mirror with HomeLink Connect. So you get your universal garage door opener on the bottom of this. So if you own a house with 3 garage bays, you can open up those garage bays individually. You also get a compass, and again, the mirror itself is auto dimming. Then your reading lights are both LED. This button is whether you want the lights to turn on or not when you open up the door. So right now, if I open up the door, the interior lights will turn on, and that is when that button is flush. If you press that button and it pops out, now when I open up the doors, the interior lights will not turn on. And then just to the right of that button, you see it says rear. If you click on that, that is going to turn just the rear dome lights on. If you press that one more time, those rear dome lights turn right back off. Then you get a spot up here you could set your sunglasses or multiple sunglasses. Then you get your roadside assistance buttons there. Taking a look at our visor, you get a vanity mirror and an LED vanity light. You also get a spot you could set your registration, and then these visors do slide forwards and backwards. You just gotta pull that out aggressively and pull back, pull forward, they do slide. You get a no poop panel for the driver. The front passenger also gets a no poop panel. And that's really kind of about it for what we got going on here in these front seats. So now I'm going to throw the entire window sticker on screen. You can take a look at whatever you want to as well. I would suggest taking a look at the safety the safety features. You can take a look at what you get with IQ Drive, the travel assistant, the adaptive cruise control, the lane keep, etc. Read over all that stuff, but I am just going to highlight the MSRP. So the MSRP of the way that this particular 2024 Tiguan SE is spec'd is $34,986. You can let me know what you think of that price in the comments down below, but I want to show you what we got going on in the rear seats before moving into the driving portion of the video. I'm so surprised at how windy it got literally within the hour. You know, it wasn't bad at all an hour ago, and now it seems like it's rather windy. So I'm gonna put these seats up, and this is what the door panel back here looks like. Again, you do get an automatic up and down window back here. We're gonna see how far the window goes down. It goes all the way down, and then rolling that back up. You get some of that leatherette with the accent stitching, a nicely padded armrest, some storage space, and a speaker. I'm pretty sure that's also a speaker there. This is what your second row seats look like. If you pull on this right here, that is going to drop the second row seats. You can also drop them from the trunk area as I showed you earlier in the video. But then you get a little bit of storage space there. But stepping on in, I'm actually very happy with the amount of leg and knee room I have back here, as well as these seats are very, very comfortable themselves. But you do get a seat back pocket behind the driver's seat. You also get a no poop handle up top here, a spot you can set your dry cleaning. You can also set your dry cleaning there if you wanted to as well. This side obviously also gets a seat back pocket. You get two HVAC vents, a spot you could, I don't even know what you would put there, probably nothing. USB-C port, you get a 12-volt power outlet, and closing that back up, you get your two dome lights up top here, both of which are LED. You get the same stuff on that side. Opening this up, you get a center fold down armrest with two cup holders. That is not considered a cup holder in my book. I don't know what you would set there, but the armrest itself is nicely padded, and I am 5'9" by the way, and I am adjusted behind myself here. And you may notice I've got plenty of knee and leg room. I got to repeat it 3 times because I've got tons of knee and leg room. And when it comes to headroom, I've got about 3.5 inches of headroom left over. So very spacious here for your rear passengers. It's also very spacious in the trunk area for cargo. But yeah, that's kind of about it. So we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I'll see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, now on to the driving portion of the video. Take a listen. This thing does not feel like a 9-second 0 to 60 time. I mean, I haven't floored it, but just with that like regular acceleration, it doesn't feel like it takes 9 seconds for this thing to get from 0 to 60. I'm gonna floor it here though, to see. That's definitely faster than a 9-second 0 to 60 time. Actually, I don't know. That felt probably like a 7-second 0 to 60. It didn't quite, like 9 is a long time. I'm gonna try, and we'll just try a 0 to 60, and I'll just count it like myself, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, maybe it was a 9-second 0 to 60. But if for some reason it doesn't feel like it takes 9 seconds for this thing to go 0 to 60. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel slow. Like for some reason, it gives you the illusion that it feels faster than a 9-second 0 to 60 time. So I don't know. That's just kind of interesting and something that I'm just giving you like my feedback on how I feel, how the car makes me feel. And it doesn't make me feel like it's a 9-second 0 to 60 time. So another thing I wanted to say is that the suspension on this thing is really good. Like when it comes to body roll, there is a little bit of body roll, yes. However, I feel like the car gives me the confidence that it would be okay doing a high-speed maneuver. You know, sometimes you get behind the wheel of, you know, certain vehicles and you know, you start doing the body roll test and you're like, whoa man, I don't know how this would feel like going, you know, doing a high-speed maneuver if God forbid you had to do something like that. But, you know, that kind of stuff happens and you want to know how your car does. Maybe you should test out the body roll test, get a feel for how it feels like if you do end up, you know, getting on it or having to do some sort of maneuver like that. But the sound system's actually like pretty good considering it's, you know, not a fancy sound system. One thing that I didn't mention that I want to mention now is that there is an optional panoramic roof you can get with this thing. Obviously this one has not been optioned with said roof. I think it cost you about 1,500 bucks. Now I'm going to do a nice little acceleration into the turn here. And this being related to Quattro, I feel very confident in the all-wheel drive's ability to, you know, deliver torque to whichever wheel that it needs to. Whether you're in snow, whether you're doing some sporty, you know, some sort of sporty driving thing, I think the all-wheel drive system would be very good with that, with the way that I just felt. You know, sometimes you know, it does some sort of torque vectoring thing and it makes you handle better around turns. So we're gonna do a little acceleration here. I don't know what that guy was honking about, but here you go. Good acceleration, good brakes. Here's a little sound of what the wind noise sounds like at about 45, 42. Yeah, it's gonna be tough to do any sort of high speed anything because you know, of the time. We got kind of rush hour. It's a Friday, so you know how that be sometimes. Everybody wants to go home, but for day-to-day use, the power on this thing feels great. You know, it's got good torque, so you can really feel that torque when you're doing, you know, just regular accelerations. You really you can feel that torque curve, especially like right off the bat, especially about 2,000 RPM. That's when this thing really starts to move, and it feels faster not flooring it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It feels like it's got more power when you're not ripping on it, and that's because I would assume that the engine is optimized for those low range RPMs, because that's where most of us do our driving anyway. We're not all flooring it around town all the time. Most of the driving is between, you know, 1,500 to 4,000 RPM. That's where we spend, you know, most of our time. So that's where the power feels like it is optimized. It feels strong, I'm telling you, power wise. But into comfort, the seats themselves are comfortable. I would say they are maybe on the firmer side of things. I think even being a bigger person, I think you'd be comfortable in these seats when it comes to the width of the seats themselves. But the seats, like cushion, they do feel maybe on the firmer side, but they're not uncomfortable by any means. I'm just saying that they do have like a hint of firmness to them. So, you know, I feel like I've covered all the bases really, you know, when it comes to the comfortability, when it comes to the acceleration. Take a listen to the wind noise and the road noise. It's pretty decently well insulated from the outside world. I would love to hear what it sounds like, you know, cruising down the highway at about 60 miles an hour, but I don't think that's going to happen in today's video. I mean, you can just see just the volume of traffic that we got going on right now. But I mean, overall, I think it's a good vehicle, especially for $34,000. You know, it's right on par with some of the other vehicles I've tested recently at that price point. For 34 grand. I think it's got a very premium look on the exterior. I like how for the money you get the LED lights in the front, you get the LED lights in the back. I like the sharp sheet metal design with the Volkswagen Tiguan. It's just got those sharp body lines, and that just adds to the sporty premium look of the exterior. I hate the auto stop start feature. I would absolutely click that button every time I got in this thing, and it's not just a Volkswagen thing. I just don't like auto stop start in general. All right, here we go. Day-to-day, man, day-to-day power. This would make for a very good daily driver. because it feels like it's got pretty good power, but it also has very good fuel economy as well. So it's efficient. It might not be the most powerful thing, and it, you know, it doesn't feel sluggish to me, but I did read online that people were saying that it felt sluggish-ish. I don't feel like it feels like that. And you know, sometimes I read stuff online and then I get behind the wheel and I give my own impressions, and my own impressions are different than what I've read. So I'm like, well, everybody always has their own opinion on how something feels or how something drives or how something looks. So you know, take what I say with a grain of salt. Really, at the end of the day, if you're seriously considering getting whatever vehicle it is that I'm reviewing, you know, you can take what I say and you can kind of build off of that. But really, at the end of the day, what you got to do is you got to get behind the wheel of the vehicle yourself and see how you feel about the vehicle. So I can tell you how I feel about it, but then you might get behind the wheel and you might think something totally different, or you may totally agree with me. So you know, again, it all comes down to, you know, personal preference and what works best for you for your money. If you're spending $35,000, I've got a few other vehicles, quite a few other vehicles on my channel that I've tested for $35,000. Like I did a video with a Mazda CX-50 the other day. Comparing this to the CX-50, they're different, you know what I mean? They both look great. The Mazda didn't have a turbo motor, so it felt a lot more sluggish than this, but there is a turbo offering with the CX-50. I'm just comparing to, you know, apples to whatever. Apples to apples is what I was meaning to say. But anyways, you know what I was saying. You know, it's comfortable, it's got power, it's just not the most powerful thing, but it is efficient. So, you know, where you give here, you take from here, if that makes sense. But that's it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy the video, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot reach my goal without your support. So if you enjoyed the video, if you learned anything from the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Again, the likes and comments in particular look very good for my channel in the YouTube algorithm, and that is what helps me grow. That is what helps me make these videos for you guys. So I'd appreciate it if you do those three things, but only if you're enjoying the video. But again, that is it for today's video. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.